runner on Craigslist.
Okay.
Up in
You're doing okay until you said Craigslist.
Well, I don't mind Craigslist.
I know.
I really don't.
Good. I like that better than the Nissan.
Yeah, this is.
Is the Nissan misbehaving?
No, it's supposed to be here. Come on, baby, do some sound. Oh, of course, what? This sound.
WHPC, Garden City, New York.
This is Motormouth Radio.
And the best stuff I've ever seen. That's right, Chris and Ray. What?
Anything, I got through! I can't believe I got through!
Well, I'm glad you guys are around because I didn't even know you existed.
Hey, how are you, Motormouth?
This is one of those days, nothing to do, so I figure why not spend it with a couple of nobodies.
Motormouth! You also have my picture up on the webpage.
Boy, you taught me something about that car.
Why must you ask such difficult questions? Motormouth!
I don't know too much about motors.
Do I come running to your show?
We love you guys that have these shows.
Our trained staff of 2 will help.
Is this that jerky car show that I listen to? Are you the distributor, Cap, or am I on the port condenser?
Quite frankly, there are better things to do with your time.
Trying to dial the phone with transmission fluid all over me. I finally got a chance to listen to you guys streaming.
I'm in a good mood. I'm happy.
Yeah, I want to know what the is wrong with my car.
I haven't even called my own mechanic back, but why don't I ask you?
But you guys are pretty special guys.
Motormouth! Must be a motorcycle thing, because I'm not familiar with that.
Yes.
Let's just think right now, Murphy's Law, what's going to go wrong? Is the board going to explode? Is the mic going to drop? Is my phone going to drop? I love live radio. I just have it just fun with you guys.
There are answers, sometimes correct ones, and we may have them.
Motormouth Radio, 90.3 FM, WHPC.
Motormouth!
This is Motormouth Radio, your 1-hour automotive talk show. And now, here are your Motormouths, Chris Switzer and Ray Guarino.
Alrighty, do you like automotive stuff? Well, automotive stuff is what we do. This is Motormouth Radio, your 1-hour automotive talk show right here on Long Island. I'm Chris Switzer, and of course, sitting in for the professor himself, the man who makes this program 521% better, the man we call Obi Don Cannoli, the man in the clouds, our technical advisor himself. Here he is, Joe D. from Standard Motor Products in for Ray. How are you, my brother?
Hey, Chris, how you doing? I'm just filling the space, not the shoes of Professor Ray. Professor Ray is unfillable. I just made that up.
He's unfillable.
Right.
The unfillable Ray Guarino.
Perhaps his purge solenoid is clogged. I'm afraid to even sit in the shop bench chair.
Oh, come on now. Please sit in the chair.
Well, here's the problem.
What?
I can't sit on the top now.
We have to find you another chair. Yeah.
No, I'm good. I can stand it.
Take that one. All right.
Oh, good. Now I can see over the... Okay. Send your short jokes to Chris Switzer.
You stand tall, almighty.
Judged by my size, do you?
And because Joe is here with us, he makes the show 521% better. I have the full confidence that your calls at 516-572-7440 with your car question will be answered succinctly and correctly.
Correctly?
Okay,
not so bad.
I took a shot.
It'll sound good.
516-572.
All you're getting out of me. I'm off the clock, you know.
Right, it'll sound good. That's for sure. It'll be radio gold. That we can guarantee. 516-572-7444. It seems that Ray is having his, I think the oil in his lava lamp changed, so...
Yeah, the globs were becoming misshapen, more so than usual.
His misshapen globs?
Yes, we noticed that they were misshapen without any outside aid from any type of atmospheric disturbance.
And you did not need any sort of scan tool to come to this diagnosis.
No, that was just the infrared gun and a little bit of heat recognition there using the FLIR.
That's what you guys call it nowadays, heat recognition. Got it. 516-572-7440. So how was the week, my brother? How was everything at the shop?
The usual lunacy, you know.
Any highlights?
Well,
any lowlights?
Well, we got low lives, but...
low lives.
Well, let's see. That yesterday they threw Mercedes and a Saab at me, and anybody who knows me, I don't like European cars because they don't... The Saab, the instructions look like the service information looks like it comes out of an IKEA instruction sheet. You know, with the little man saying no. You know, as you stand there with like the jumper cables, and the Benz, it's like, yeah, don't touch our cars.
You cannot open wood.
You cannot touch this. But yeah, basic. So I don't know. I guess that's because I rolled in a little late or something. I don't know. And then. We got the 67 Caddy to finally move. We decided it was not going to be a monument, so we got that out of there. So,
yeah, tell us a little bit about that 67 Caddy. At least I can keep up with you on that one.
Well,
the Saab and the Mercedes, you blow me in the dust.
Oh, no, those are, geez, I don't know. I found out that Meanie works as opposed to Eenie or Mo or Miney.
Sure does.
So, yeah.
1 out of 3
goes
shot.
To show you.
Mm-hmm.
No, the Caddy, well...
What was up with it?
What was not up with it is basically it. Engine noises, we decided that it had a rod knock. It had a bog. After I went and I set all the tune-up specifications right, it just didn't run right. Then I noticed that, well, it's a 67. Here's an interesting thing I found out. 65 to 67.
Yes.
The Turbo 400 used the switch pitch converter.
Correct.
Which is extremely cool. And the reason why they did it was to alleviate a bogging condition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because the engines were weak.
Yeah, believe it or not. A weak engine and 429 cubic inches don't usually go together. Yeah. But this thing was like a real pig, you know, pulling out into the street.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that when the last person who owned this guy bought it in an auction, by the way.
Oh.
And I didn't realize that, you know, that they had auctions from substance abuse places, that they really were they weren't just sellers, they were members too. So then I realized that the wires to the switch pitch switch, which is on the carburetor there.
Can you say that without spitting?
No, sorry, whoever's going to use this mic next, you really should throw it in the dryer. Ew. Where's that Lysol? The wires were just going no place.
Got it.
And since they weren't going no place under the transmission, my boss is like, nah, we're not fixing this now. Get it out of here. Oh, so, believe it or not, it's going to the body shop for a full resto. And then it may come back to us.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. The car's going to get restored, then come back to fix the ailments?
Yes. I don't know. I mean, I have dyslexia too, but like, wow, that's just like on a massive scale.
I had a good amount of time with a 67 Cadillac, and I must admit, the one thing I wanted off that car was the carburetor, because I've never seen a car so big get so good of a gas mileage. The car was getting like 17, 18 miles to a gallon. When my Electra with a 430 was barely pulling down 8 or 9 miles to a gallon.
I was going to say, how did you do that? What was pushing you? Kenworth or a Peterbilt?
I swear, I must admit, I don't know what my buddy Andy had done to this car. But I have no clue, but I wanted to swap them at one time. But the car was a pig. It wouldn't pull away for a hill of beans. It almost killed me one time trying to get away from a bus, because exactly what you said. You'd get on it to get around the bus, and it would just flatten right out. Now you're stuck out there in oncoming traffic going, ah.
Yeah, seriously. You know, on the other hand, you know that whatever hits you is going to bounce off.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah, but you know, maybe that we were onto something with it, because I noticed that the switch pitch wasn't working, and nobody understands the switch pitch. See, I'm going to hold my hand in front of the mic so it doesn't get any more soaked. Yeah, but basically, that thing, those engines have like freight train style torque.
Mm-hmm.
And I was around quite a few, like late 60s to mid 70s caddies.
Right.
And I just remember them things just frying the tires. But this thing, it needed a little help.
Mm-hmm.
Unusual. Oh, now you see, now the spots are becoming, I'm
Here
flashing
we
back.
Someone is taking heed and is going to tap into the vast resource of Obi Don Cannoli right now, because we're going to the phones. We're going to the fun. We're going to say hi. You're on with the Motormouths.
Hello, Chris. Hello, Professor Ray. Hello, Joey D. This is Howie. How you guys doing?
3, 2, 1, Joe.
It's the big man! Obviously, you're not listening because Ray's not here.
What's up, Pasta
But it's good to
Primavera?
hear you.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm doing well. I'm working this Sunday and Monday, and I just got a little break, and I wanted to give you guys a call. I didn't know about Professor Ray.
So you're giving us a break.
I haven't been on the radio, so I didn't know.
Ah.
Oh, you haven't done a show yourself.
Well, I'm glad you called in because I kind of miss you, Howie.
Well, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Your voice does grace the airwaves, and you definitely, it's not the same show without hearing you on the show. I mean, I know we talk, ex parte, but, I like to hear you on the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Today I'm driving the 87 Nissan 300 CX, with the T-top off, music loud, and pedal to the metal.
Really?
Really.
He makes it sound so good, doesn't he?
Right. Now, my question is, there's metal left underneath the accelerator on the floorboard on the Nissan?
Was it crunching?
I tell you this, there's a lot of good metal in this Japanese car. It's not rotted out. It's all straight. Got it back from the body shop, did some improvements. It really looks nice. Nice. Yeah, that's a good car for this. I myself have taken my T-top vehicle out today, sans tops there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a perfect weather for it.
Perfect weather. It's now. It is limited days where it's going to be nice out. So you want to take your convertible out. You want to take the car that has T-tops or T-bar roof, so that you can enjoy. Because soon the weather's going to change and you won't be able to enjoy it.
Right, unless you're Ray, who doesn't mind driving in sub-zero weather with the top down.
Yes.
Well, he puts those that nylon stockings or the thermals on, so he can do that.
When he's robbing liquor stores, yeah. Usually.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
drive it like you stole it.
Or drive it like I can fix it if it breaks.
Oh man.
Good to hear from you.
Well, thanks, Howie. Thank you for jumping in and spending a little time with us. We always appreciate it.
Yeah, let us know how you make out with the Toyota too.
The Toyota. Well, I tell you this. I'm doing a simple repair now, but I might have to go. I might have to go to Toyota or probably go to a junkyard for some parts. What's happening with that is the shifter cable came on off, and also there's a 2-inch plastic piece that comes up to the shifter that also broke. So I'm trying a simple repair, and if that doesn't work, then I gotta go further.
Right, yeah. I know what you mean. Those are always fun, gathering the parts and figure out exactly where it went south on you.
But the fact is you're going to be crawling under the car?
No, I'm on top. I'm in. I took the shifter, the console apart.
Good. You listened.
And looked at it. It's really the shifter cable is okay, except there's one little thin rubber kind of a ring, an O-ring kind of thing that went off. So I got some JB weld and some nylon ties, and so far that's holding, and we'll see what happens, by getting this baby on the road and making sure that it's secure.
Excellent.
JB
then
weld.
on to the shifter.
Yeah.
Hey.
What color's the car so we know enough to avoid it?
It is a red Toyota Corolla S, and it's my daughter. My oldest daughter uses it. So she got stuck out in Shirley, had the car towed home, and I'm looking at it now. It's all apart, and because I'm working today and I'm working tomorrow, so I'll be able to finish it tomorrow.
Well, that's fantastic news.
Give a holler if you need anything.
All right,
man.
be well, man. Hey, enjoy. Hey, happy motoring. Enjoy the day. It looks like good cruising weather. You can wear sunglasses to the car shows and etc.
Got it. A lot of etc. going on. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
516-572-7440. Always good to hear from the big man.
Absolutely.
Because now the phones will be quiet for the next 50 minutes, I'm sure.
They'll be scared.
516.
How do you top that?
516-572.
That doesn't involve Bosco.
7440. Try and top the big man.
Yeah, please, come on. Awkward silence sucks. Come on, bring it on. Bring it on. Toyota shifters, caddies with lack of torque. You know, we got oxymorons all over the place here.
You know, speaking of oxymorons, I've seen more people, and I know you talk about European vehicles, but I've seen more people buying new Volkswagens lately.
I hear that you could buy synthetic marijuana very easily too. Perhaps there is a correlation.
That's why I wanted to ask you about this, because I know how much you love. There's a show, I can't remember where it is, but there's a show where you had called. I was on this theory of buying a Saab 9.3 convertible because of the prices of them.
Oh, I remember that quite well.
And your response to that was take any part of your body, take any appendage, and put it in the door jamb, and then slam the door on it, and the pain would probably be better than buying that car.
It would be over sooner, yes.
So when you get a response like that, you always have to figure out more questions that will probably yield responses like that. And I've noticed that a lot of people, guys at work, and some of my friends are buying new Golfs and new Jettas. And a buddy of mine bought what's the bigger Volkswagen? I can't even, is it a...
Passat.
Passat, thank you. Bought one of those. And I'm kind of torn because they asked me about the car. It's like, well, what do you think of the car? I'm like, I remember when Volkswagen about 10 years ago had these gross maladies where like brakes would fail, fuel pumps would cease to work, things like that would happen. It wasn't just a seatbelt retractor or the ashtray door was misaligned. These were major problems that were going on. And I'm thinking back around, 2005, 2006. So and now that Volkswagen is the primary automotive producer in the world.
Yeah, they're number one, believe it or not.
They're number one. So what's your take on it? What do you think?
Well, okay, they have some excellent technology.
Okay.
All right. Some of the stuff that they do, I mean, they were ahead of the game with direct injection, direct gasoline injection, diesels, turbocharging. They're also pretty fun cars to drive.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but and what happens is sometimes they make things a little too freaking complicated. All right,
the Germans, what a surprise!
Yeah, I mean they just come up with all kinds of stuff that why would you bother? I mean. Okay.
Not like variable pitch torque converters or anything like that.
Oh, no. That was just a couple of Americans sitting around thinking, you know what? Hey, you know what? We can make this, we can make this barge run that much. But no, the Germans do things like, if you had, a friend of mine was doing he had done an extensive amount of electrical work on a Mercedes.
Okay.
And once everything powered back up again, you had to relearn certain systems, one of which was the sunroof.
It had to the onboard computer
had to relearn the positions. All right, and pretty much it said this procedure will take 9 minutes and 37 seconds. And for some ungodly reason, he hit the exit button on the scan tool at 9 minutes and 34 seconds.
Oh, come on.
And the scan tool pretty much turned around and said, yeah, you did not listen. Now you must start all over again. I did not catch the last 9 positions of the sensor. I'm like, dude, come on. Is it that important if your sunroof? But, okay, you got to understand, they have an attitude about stuff. Also, they don't tell you squat.
They don't either. Huh?
Okay, you go on.
Volkswagen people don't tell you.
I'm a big fan, and this is not just Volkswagen. This is Mercedes. This is BMW. This is Mini. Pretty much, if you don't have access to their training, their tools, their
tools.
Their scan tool. Okay, my buddy over at ABC, he recently purchased the Benz scan tool, which comes as a laptop and it's got this box that interfaces with the vehicle. Aside from telling you like how far back the seat is, All right, like we just for the hell of it, we messed with, I think it was his horn, and we just popped the connector. It was a Sprinter, so we popped the connector.
Right.
This thing told us which connector popped. A picture popped up of where the connector was, with a little red arrow, and then a wiring diagram, and then another picture of some guy in lederhosen with a wrench. It was scary.
Wow.
Okay, now you go on all data. It's like remove the wire, put another wire, you're done. Yeah, right. So, and you got to understand something. Like I said, a lot of these cars are a blast to drive. Right. Like I believe it or not, the most reliable car long term next to like Lexus is Porsche.
What?
Yeah. I was like, come on. But really, yeah. As a matter of fact, you never see. They have a pretty good reliability record, which is good because that's a car they barely tell you how to open the hood.
I'm sure.
They barely tell you which one is the hood. Okay?
Right. It could be in the front or the back on some
exactly,
of those
or they could be like the British, the roof, but that's another story. Because they're in Europe too, But if you don't have access to the proper, this is like any car these days, but more so them. If you don't have the proper tooling and information, the chances of you screwing that car up are phenomenally high. Wow. You cannot wing it, and most guys who, whether they're professional mechanics or they're just dedicated car guys, like a lot of our listeners, what happens is you can't really sit there and dope nothing out no more.
You can't.
Because
you can't do it.
Yeah, because I had a Beetle that wouldn't turn on the AC, and one of the reasons why, because one speed of the radiator fan didn't work.
One speed.
Because the resistor one speed, and the module was like, you don't have enough blowing? No, you will overpressurize? No, shut the whole thing off. You will sweat now. Bring the strudel, we're going to make an oven.
We're going to take a...
Sorry, Chris. See what happens when you work on cars too much?
You will sweat now. That's Joe D in for Ray here on this Sunday afternoon. I'm Chris Switzer, and of course, the Motormouth Radio Honor Group.
Want me to get the mop? Jesus.
I'm sweating. The Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour. Drivers that have received recall notices. So, what'd you get? What'd you get? An airbag? What'd you get? A suspension failure? What happened? Something may cause a little fire? Well, if you got one of those recall notices, pat yourself on the back with it because you're part of the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour. Joe D in for Ray. You can watch him on VaughnLive.tv/Motormouth Radio. He's there. There he is. You can watch him. And we got a lot more schmetting coming your way right here.
Schmetting.
Right here on Motormouth Radio. So please, keep it where you got it. Where do you got it? Let's try that.
This is Motormouth Radio, your 1-hour automotive talk show.
WHPC 90.3, the radio voice of Nassau Community College, is looking for individuals, businesses, charities, or organizations in our local and global community that would like to donate to support our radio station. Whether you listen locally or online, here is how it works. Go to our webpage at ncc.edu/WHPC and click Donate Now. Or if you prefer, you can send a check to WHPC Radio, 1 Education Drive, Garden City, New York, 11530. Make check payable to the NCC Foundation. In the memo of your check, write WHPC Donate Now. Any contributions will help defray our operating costs, and it's tax deductible. This message was brought to you by the radio voice of Nassau Community College, streaming online at ncc.edu/WHPC.
Hi, this is Butch Patrick, and you're listening to Motormouth Radio, just like me.
That's right, Butch Patrick. He's probably going to be in the studio next week or the week after. I don't know. We're still trying to figure that out. But he'll be here. Right now, we have Joe D here with us in for Ray.
That's your problem.
And you can call him, call me, call the show, 516-572-7440.
Call me maybe?
Call you maybe? Yeah, I think Ray is out because he's probably having his nostrils rotated, or something along those lines.
Perhaps he's rotating on his nostrils.
Oh,
but
that could be.
God only knows what it is. Well, I just want to finish up what I...
Yes, please.
Okay. My personal opinion, all right, is that any car, you could get any car you want for the first 3 years, whatever the warranty is, because that case, you bring it back, you drop the keys on the service counter and say, here, fix it. Okay? And pretty much the car companies know how long something's going to last, and they're pretty good about, unless they, made a major oopsie, they'll get through the intended warranty period. Okay. After that, it's whether you want to live with it, say 8-10 years down the road, and stuff starts falling off, and can your local guy deal with it?
Right.
Yeah, because that's another thing, and we're talking about just to kind of filter into something else, but I'll just want to finish this.
Go right ahead.
But basically, don't let any car scare you off as far as a new car, because that's why they have, there's a lot of cool stuff on new cars. You jump out of something that barely has brakes, and I mean, you go from that '67 Caddy, you jump into a 2014 anything, a Corolla, a Ford. Oh yeah, a Ford Escape, something like that.
The technology is leaps.
Yeah, you can go that much further on a gallon of gas before you hit the wall, and you'll still live because of the airbags and whatnot. It's just that's if the anti-lock brakes don't do the right thing, But the German cars are really cool, but just remember that you got to live with them. You may want to date it, you may not want to marry it. Okay, so
got it.
That's it. That's my rant for European vehicles. It's not just the Germans; it's the British. After finding out that a hood means the thing over your head, not the one over the motor.
Right, because the one over the motor is a bonnet.
Yes, boot bonnet. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a Peter Frampton song I remember trying to listen to that too, but that's another story.
I'm trying to think what's still built in England. Land Rover's still built in England?
No, that's Tata in India.
Oh, that is Tata.
Yeah. It's the bodacious division.
I know, right? I know Jaguar.
Yeah,
is definitely bodacious.
Yes. Those
right.
Those are pretty hot too. I've seen a couple of them. They're good-looking cars, and again, what I said as far as that goes.
Is it a prerequisite to be a new Jaguar owner to either be a cigar-smoking, glasses-wearing, bald guy?
Yeah, they checked that at the door. I know a guy with longer hair than me went in there, had to put one of them rubber caps on his head before they even let him look at the car.
I'm sorry, sir. You need this stinking cigarettes, your cigar, and you need to remove your hair in order to look at this vehicle.
Yes, that was really good. I can't do that accent, so I ain't touching that.
You got the German down pat.
Yeah. Yeah, see these cuts right here?
Self-inflicted.
No. That was 2,000 people. Air conditioning. You know where they put the fan module on that thing?
I couldn't even tell you.
But you know where I'd like to put it.
I'm sure you would. But those are the things that you have to run into every single day when you're in the shop, because I always call you the hired gun. You walk in there and fix stuff.
Right.
When stuff can't be fixed, you're called in. That's pretty impressive, if you ask me.
Thank you, but basically, okay. Nothing against shop owners. I basically have two guys that I deal with the most, and right. These guys pretty much are running around like a chicken on fire. Is that chicken without the head or the head's on, whatever?
Okay.
And sometimes you can't think stuff out. With trying to do all the other day-to-day stuff. I walk in and it's pretty obvious to me because I've prepped, I've read, and maybe I've seen it before. I'm just another head. I'm just the cheap seats calling, yelling out advice.
That's it.
Yeah.
You want to see if you can yell out some advice now?
Yeah, why not?
All righty, we're going to the phones. Going to the fun. Hi, you're on with the Motormouths and Joe D and for Ray.
Hey, Chris. Joe, it's Dan.
Hey, what's up, Dan? How are you?
All right, pretty good. Pretty good.
What's going on?
I want to ask Joe. I tell you, it's funny he's discussing with the warranty. I have to get it. I'm thinking about getting the extended warranty for the BMW 2011.
What was the year on the BMW again?
11.
2011?
2011 D4.
Oh, okay.
I think it's November is when I have the option. I think you have to do it for November. Buy like the extended.
We're gonna have to get you an extended warranty on the phone you're using, though.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's much better.
Yeah, nice.
Whatever you just did, keep doing it. You gonna hang on to the car, Dan?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to it. It's low mileage. I don't use it as a, but I love the car.
Oh yeah, they're a blast to drive.
Yeah, sure.
I have a 3 Series in the family, and a fairly late model 3 Series. It's a really great driving car. Yes, by all means, if you're going to hang on to it, 2 things I would recommend is number 1, get the factory,
right?
The factory extended warranty. There are other very good aftermarket warranty companies out there, but like the factory is pretty much a sure bet, especially.
Yeah, I would get the factory, but any particular one,
No, the one right over there from the top of the Alps or whatever you want. You want the one from the fatherland, because you want to be able to bring it back to them. Unless you happen to know a guy who's a real BMW aficionado, that he has that tool. BMW has. I don't know if you just heard that thing about the Mercedes tool, where the guy with the diagram popping up and the whole thing right in the computer there. That unless you know a guy who happens to does a lot of BMWs in the shop and he's got access to stuff like that, you don't want somebody guessing. I've seen too many cars just get really. I can't think of a word that I could use without invoking the George Carlin clause. That really screwed up. But yeah, I would say you want to stick with the dealer or a BMW specialist on that with the factory warranty. The reason too is that sometimes if you don't get a good aftermarket warranty, it's like, yeah, I need a head gasket. Well, okay, we'll warranty the gasket but not the head, even though it cracked because it overheated, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Some of these guys, some of these warranties, what they'll do is they'll try to chop you down. You want to use the original equipment part or a quality aftermarket part, and they'll have you go with something from the local store that's cheaper. You know what I mean? And that's just business. That's fine. But essentially, a car like that, you want to go top shelf with it. The other thing you want to do is whatever the maintenance is. Mm-hmm. Well, if that little light comes on, you don't want to put black tape over it. You don't want to say next week.
No. I always have it serviced. Every fully oil they give you that. I bought it too. So.
Good.
Right, yeah, but when that runs out, you want to keep it. You want to hang on to that, because if you keep up with them German cars, because in Europe pretty much, they hang on to cars, they pass them down, the heirlooms. Yeah, they have that service mentality still in place, and the car will last you if you do the service. Then they tell you.
Hey Dan, what are they offering the extended warranty for? How much?
I know there were a few different packages for it. I looked at it. I know it was a little pricey, but it was one with everything, all the electronics. I probably wouldn't get that one. I would maybe get the second.
Right, but you don't know offhand how much it's going to run you.
Yeah, I know. I know it was over 1,000.
Okay,
maybe 15, something like that.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? I had a shop that it turns out that the radio, the entertainment system, stopped working.
Right.
And after checking the basics, power, ground, all that stuff. Turns out it was a common problem for that unit. That unit was like $1,600.
Wow.
Okay.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and it's not like you're going to slap a Panasonic in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the rest of the car will just hate your guts for it. So
I tell you, what do you think of that motor? To me, I had no problem. But sometimes you see some issues with it. One is the non. Like that's why I bought it. I didn't want the turbo, the non-turbo, 3.0.
Right.
But mine is pretty good. But that's what I was afraid of too. See if you get some issues.
You dropped out pretty bad there, but if I get the gist of what you're saying, yeah, BMW has always made some amazing motors. You know what I mean? They're pretty incredible. Because I don't do a lot of them, I don't have a lot of the common flaws off the top of my head. However, for the most part, that's why you want to keep up on the warranty. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's why you want somebody who's got familiarity. Oh yeah, that's it. That's the rocker rum strudel unit there that goes bad. Yeah, that is one time where you want somebody who sees these same cars day in and day out. You don't want somebody who just a couple minutes ago changed the wiper motor in a Hyundai going after the fiber optic system in your BMW.
Very true.
Yeah, you're right. I take it. All right, that's good. I just wanted to tell you one last note. Chris. I happened by chance to go by that guy in Freeport, by accident almost. There's the guy that builds, like Cobras, that does restoration. I don't know.
Which guy? Pitbull and what?
No, not that guy. There's another guy that specializes like in sports, AC Cobras, Mustangs. And what caught my eye was he had AC Cobras. It's right by BJ's wholesale.
You talking about Freeport Auto Wrecking?
No.
He's right by there. Yeah,
he's by there.
Right, he's right by there. I have never. I just by chance I went in. He must have had about 5 AC Cobras.
Really?
He had an Eleanor 67 Mustang. I was blown away. I couldn't believe the quality.
I remember the shop. I don't remember his name though. He's right by Jimmy's Junkyard.
Oh,
yeah, he's right in the he's
right in the back there.
Yeah, right.
But right by the interstate, where there's an interstate battery place, right across the street.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, I was amazed. I was floored. I couldn't believe. You had to see the cars. I don't think there was anything less than like $100,000.
Well, we got to pass by and check them out then.
Oh, it was unbelievable, especially the Eleanor, because I haven't.
Yeah, they are pretty when they're done right. That's for sure.
Oh, beautiful.
Dan, thank you so much for the call, my brother.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
We'll
Anytime.
talk soon. Bye-bye. Good luck with that warranty.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
516-572-7440. There's a phone number. Joe D is in for Ray. Ray is getting those big black ears removed, I think last we heard. Right on the road, no less. But you can hear this show on Performance Motorsports Network. You can also check it out on iHeartRadio. We're very proud to be part of those fine organizations. Still don't know why they like us, other than the fact that we appeal to the older radio listeners. Secret between us. So if you're a bald-headed, cigar-smoking Jaguar owner, then you're in our wheelhouse. Joe D, in for Ray. Got a lot more coming your way right here on Motormouth Radio. Keep it where you got it.
The Motormouths will be right back with your car questions. Give us a call at 516-572-7440.
WHPC, Garden City, New York, the voice of